Imu die sene mbra ne tie no eya na won se opese wo ma yi chief justice kra free so a chief justice onye ni paketo a obetuma sori preko pese e wo se opese yi no se wo hwa na edi kan bi ba ebra no mampani na nado dankwa ete so na edi kan bi ba Professor Kwame Asah, a very renowned social commentator, a lawyer in America, or the petition edi kan echo presidency say any siege in free so but the new leak here about public domain obi enye edi kan ye and a presidency no make determination say and same ne woman no nya same way was say igina so ne di chief justice no enti answer na mampani ne mre so amena free so no obo sansem ni tuguye and afoforo asanyaba na senior ye chief justice no sana ye similar to senior ye superior court judge bia another senior ye inipeable constitution ni ma emra no say omo conditions of service and I say enema efa omadwuma ye ho no ya ye omo te say judge for even though omo nye judge for properly so called obi te say auditor general obi te say commissioner for charge obi te say NCC boss no omo nyina conditions of service no say court of appeal judge even isi nimpo it is up say we yi omo a sa procedure we ya na obefam nti me fa nko akiri ebra na ase nhwemu obeka sa judge fo no bi aye corrupt na to ma kataso mo ma ye niema bi a ense fata yeti committee na committee no etieti nsem no omuteti nsem ni wie no mo recommend this judge for nyom ene ejina so nyedi yom so we ya petition no obi anhu even though na ye video no eno na ye na basis a mo de yi yom no but emu nsem e course nyina no anshada ma bontinsa wo hwe former electoral commissioner Sarato say nso de na eno nso saa na siye lawyer Maxwell Puku Ajiman ena ne di animu but petition content no ama abontin and mejidi say ni ntete say ne say na be ya ye be ma nipa no privacy bi kakra na ebiensem na ewu mu no so emeda abontin na en create prejudice bi ntia nipa no eno ntina say mra na ye ne say hearing no enye in camera, that is apart from panel no parties no eno ma lawyer for any be a witnesses and as omo be amadanse for no mo bia entra asem no bi nti sana etie and we na meka edi kan
na wo hwa nkrofo bi sa prima facie case ne ho ne ma sa de yenye lawyers no yenti ase kiren ase dem
te ka se prima facie case metri mu twi mu se Latins in for me. Prima to say as I did the prime, word prime, if free prima. Inti, a cat at their prime, I did the kind. Inti, I did not say, oh, Shano, tra cranoa. Would me who say, Bibi womb. We wait me at true, and a bit my true Bibi, but as we wait me the Asama to be swa. Over Shano, wait it in some na nyanse bi eni mana say enya asem bia we say ye nyina ha ye ho nyina so bi eni nyina so bi eni na waka no enti ye hwe no just on the surface na ade e mu odu e we say ye to aso se sanity e dia na ye say that is what we call prima facie case no na ye say ne we say ye to aso na fe ye konsem ni mu ankasa na ye determine merit no ye hwe nsem no e taking one after the other na ye say allegations no yampa anase bi yampa na bi yampa ade e bitima agina so se emfa nyi nipa so obi twro petition bi so chief justice obadwuma on mantem e bia da obadwuma na bi o late be 2 minutes bia na 5 minutes we nya de abeka se emfa nyi obi mfiri so what I say into obi twro petition no ka so we be say ECG ni fi so because e bia mi koye case bi wonanim na se no ma judgment na mempe enye enyina so e di CJ free so many se court take decision kra na enye papa ana say ene emba no mpubo ebra na lawyer for be ka say pay inquiry mu na untimi nyi judge em free so because what take decision ene emra no o fin say ene emra no bo ebra a bad law remains good law until it is overturned sana ya lawyers for nieka to go court kra na judge take decision bi na no nya adwea e wo say follow into obi de bibi sa ba enye enyina so papa e be hwese ye de no so e be yi chief justice no efri so
nti uhwe yi a saa prima facie ade na no wokan net say hina na so hwehwe saa ade nim
nti senior yi ada superior court justices no where constitution article 146 amount senior yi ajajefo medical can say enya ajajefo no nko na sa provision apply to because emrani mu no enipa ni bi wo no ma law no say conditions of service no another senior emra no entity to say court of appeal judges obi the electoral commission or article 44 e wo no say the conditions of service no enye to say court of appeal judge auditor general ni NCC boss so ya make di kan mu nyina wo saa conditions ni bi it is ankrofo no so obi so yi o ma saa procedure ni na ebe use na emra ne say se ba saa ankrofo no a e CG no ene be determine say prima facie case bi aye ohwehwe mu a ensem ne ensem a wo say yekomu ana ohwehwe mu na odwen saa then obeteki sa decision na ya ho ate ho committee no so ye composition wo na mo committee na ye hearing no after hearing no mo determine say we see yi na ye yi no na ba CG ne de ne de ha isan so no ye CG ne nti ono a CG no untimi nka nso ono anga so ono anga san hwe petition ni no an san determine say prima facie case bi tia no make sense of yes nti constitution yes okay omanpanin oni council of state omon transe na omon hwe petition ni mu na omon hwe se prima facie case bi wo mu a se bi wo mu sa dia na ne na yakoso na yate committee no na committee na hearing no na unlike committee a yedi superior court justices including auditor general no ade no chief justice ne de constitution say yemfa supreme court ajaji for me na enipa miensa mi meka mo sa enipa miensa no enwo so omo ye lawyer for enwo so omo ye emrahye bedwafo enwo so omo ye council of state members sa na emra natural nti in the ordinary panel because e be a lay person not a lay person obi a on men sa na ma we nhu bi ebetuma enipa bia na ya pa o maka ajaji for me no na afi o matra ensem no ahwehwe ensem no
na wo hwese na process no fiase na yema me chief justice ono se den sanka sa petition ono so kire okwe no na wadwin mo no hu se na process ni bi started dawa ni enima na
okay enti even though esanima we aye yen sana American hearing in camera no emra no hye se obi di asem to obi so a e wa se o ma na kwanya e ma no yi ano ansa na wabunifo ye friend of principle of natural justice na efri Bible Adam and Eve story ni ebra Adam ni Eve anasa Hawa omo kodi aduaba no ya Nyankopon ba true ni mu ho no ohun se omo no nim Nyankopon nim bibia onim se o ma ye bon bo bi sa Adam se Adam bisa na se wo enfa aduaba na mesi mendi no udie en Adam se oba no no bisa oba na se oba no aden na oba na so ho no nti e wo se wutie other side no asana wama we yi aten nti president no communication e kire se mesaka BBC wama chief justice no wama na nya impression and I say we putting on note and wama na idea say obi atron se BBC afa ho atia na me president ne de mra ne say the bremia me mfa nko ne me mfo we de Emma Council of State enya me na me determine but there was some ma ya we say BBC yaba say na be ya so obe start adwendwen ho na obe hu bibia and obe start ape lawyer for ne ade a wape me sure say president betro official letter come CG no was answer no but ebia is an senior. I was say you put 30 chief justice and put 30 process no. Na yen to tin say nipa bi aka keninti e bia saa krata no e ma abonten. Ba me gidi say krata bi beko apart from communication e ba out na nyina yehu bi no. Krata bi beko chief justice no ka chen say petition bi say abante me for that come council of state.
Ya wo kano say sa net dia ene na ye den na chief justice no kyerɛw say mensanka so bona wade bo mensanka me hu hwe e den na eno ntumi bam.
Okay, nti ade we no na esi na adwenkyere bebre wo ho. Lawyer for no this week debate ho and for me say na make no answer ne de emra no Supreme Court na interpret law no. Lawyer ni bi adwen bi aye adwenkyere. There was a Supreme Court decision be a meko later. Rate now member of parliament for is it Tafu?
Yeah.
Me ankasa me colleague Vincent as a family, yeah. Me learned friend.
Okay.
A file no. Say op interpretation no. Me gidi say ebema niema mu ada ho pefia me say obi ehun say na mra na say. Is as a lawyer for ni be say president no receive petition na e was say o de ma CJ no. O ma CJ no copies. Na CJ ni ma response. Na o compare o kan ni nyina na o determine say okay. Adi we CJ na man response. Ba man teach mu bi kakra. We so say me hwa yenko council of state hwehwe mu a yenko yanima na ma yenko yanim. Say yenko yanima na yate committee no. Yenko yanima na eno ano no e ho na president atro letter about out say e bia yehwe mu no nyina so bi enim nti asem na heden about to ebi so say dabi e was say krata no e council petition no council of state ho na council of state e transition mu say primary case ni wo mu a na afi ye dey chief justice no na wayi ano ansa ya start as na committee no I started hearing no nti abeye school of thought ni a lot of lawyers social media Twitter ni ade LinkedIn especially senior lawyers be obi church na adwin nti mo gidi say sa rate na Vincent a file no court no make determination ya afidi emra no beye ebeda ho pefi na yehu say petition bi ko etia chief justice e was say de ma no emanuma enyiano kitue bi ansana akọ council of state ama omo nso ma yehwe mu ahu say okay ade no enyina so bi wo mu tie ento aso ana say ye busrim kasem tie ntwam bigidi say sa case no Supreme Court tie bia enyina ebenya ho ntiase
ansana ayi mekolo ya mayale ba ho memisa ba ko na sese a prima facie ho ne man wonga kyerɛw ai yen chief justice o wode sa petition no amano no afei sa court asem ebeko so agina
court asem de ebeko so agina
okay
isan say Vincent a file interpretation a file say yen church the Supreme Court ena interpret the constitution omo aso na omo enforce constitution nti Supreme Court enchechiri mu say sa wokin kan sa articles no yia wokin kan ko echira sign echire ono wo no nyina so ono fen say wokin kan echire nto beka say a true and proper interpretation of this would say na be court ne beka say me no ya adwin na me ne wo nya adwin omo file injunction so say ye injunctive process no court and stop it, the whole procedure about ye be CJ no until say Supreme Court be tie nsem no ewie enti nyame adoma ye di holidays we be Wednesday assembly members of Supreme Court injunction ye be say on be grant na on grant is an say ye asem a work court nti no ye ntimi nka ho asem enko chiri bebre but ye be say nyame adoma Wednesday eduru ono mo be tie ya Supreme Court
okay mama enko afiri no so na me ne lawyer Male Bankasa lawyer good morning.
Morning.
Lawyer mpacho na ho tren.
Me we fa.
Yenhwehwe enkomo yi. Yerehwe Chief Justice nsama ekoso ya woti yewo. So far uhu ne den from where you sit nhune den as a lawyer den na ekoso ka bibi kire lawyer
No, Osha, ne ekoso no. Eye, Magana. Because it is part of improving our democratic processes. Nti nipa kro na okọ court no. Menjini yaw. Chief Justice so extra president no menjini yaw. President so a report answer what the petition ekoma Council of State no so menjini omo yaw. So let's allow the processes to go on at each point. But me nanka menyaya, I'll just advise the Chief Justice to resign. Because it is a clear indication that she can't work with the government of the day. So even if she survives this process, she still cannot work with the government of the day. At a point in time, no, I think sir, it will dawn on her, sir, she better leaves. But if she wants to fight it, you can't fight the government of the day. There are several ways by which they can make you ineffective or useless. So I would have just asked her to resign.
so na woka no wo through wo nwie aden den na wo foro se wo ahu a wo foro se eto resign.
Oh, Nipa Bebre, if they had their way, they would have continued to stay after Akufo-Addo left. But they left. Because a juma no enye one kasa juma. It's not a private, it's a buying juma. Na buying na abaso no. Almost juma. All what is happening is leading towards to that conclusion. Juma. So Juma. Why are you there? Nanka we the kind of appointments that the president can just sack you. Nanka ma sacking the other. But because you need to go through a process, and until Akoban say young farmer council of state, then there will be a committee. Then it is clear, sir, from where we are sitting now. And me, if you watch me on program, I don't like to be beaten around the bush. It is clear, sir, almost say Juma. That's all about it. All what is happening is that they say they can't work with you.
Juma. Aden na wonkyerɛ ne nti a wona menya adwuma wugye ndi sɛ ɛho hia sɛ ɛsɛ onipa ko no hu sɛ oh sɛ ntimi no nya adwuma.
Oh, sir, no there one petition because in the article 146 you must state 2 or 3 things. 1, stated misbehavior. 1, 2, incompetence. 3, incapacity. Say on to me and your juma office now. You are incapable in terms of incapacity. But in himself one yare. It is the first 2. Stated misbehavior, and then also into Nankaye ordinary to say IGPR, probably they would have stated it there and said that, oh, because of this and this and this and this, we are removing you from office. Into yet say Chief Justice, and the procedure has been provided for in the Article 146. No? If you want to know the reason, it will be in the petition.
Friend then den na bang ne hu sani a wo kan sɛ sani hu ne na bang ne ntumi ne adwuma den na bang ne hu ɛfa ya ma me Chief Justice ho a utumi kasa sɛ wo hwɛ bang ne ntumi ne nya adwuma.
Mamem onim sɛ when former president, when Mahama was a former president, was addressing NDC lawyers, we need reforms in the judiciary. instances where cases are at me back court on them. No matches amma and their rulings become odious, their rulings become ineffective. Minister, you are in the media, you know some of those cases. Your friends dom level. You file a case for court. They waited till Domlovo even went to retirement. This needed a response. This needed a Supreme Court to intervene immediately. Other one is Wedi and also E-Levy. But she said near a same way by way. You see that they would have started on Monday. Do you know that? Now can you say Monday a holiday? They would have started on Monday. So who is the head of the institution that is not empaneling judges to hear cases expeditiously? Where? Who is in charge of that? Banison when you marking case no there, it may ban them. And in some instances, the president Akufo-Addo was removing people from office. He had a case call on him. Then they later gave the ruling at the time that it was just a few months for Akufo-Addo to leave office. So please, there are a lot of things I can cite.
Ya lawyer ni aya moka sana mo kyerɛkyerɛ ma de kyerɛ nti yanso yesua biribi wom mutumi kɛse o sɛ wɔn ahyehyɛ da bi a wobɛdi asɛm na sɛ mo pɛ sɛ mo twe ba anim a mo kɛse abridgment of time ne ho nneɛma adan na saa nneɛma mo kɛse delay a mo nyusu saa processes no ne ho nneɛma efe bio ɛtɔ da bi nso a yɛte sɛ mo am nso technicalities na mo de delay nneɛma nti ɛno na ɛdan na etumi yɛ sobo ma Chief Justice.
The question, you are trying to hide the point I'm making. Where say before no not register na mark dates. Se see how kwa no mark say there be Chief Justice enye ma me date say me mamo date. So you be waiting till the Chief Justice gives you a date. Abridgment of time is when a date has been given. Now Osha say wa na wa abridge time. But when you fraud case, they won't give you any indication. And American. So your question is trying to what difference when lawyers play games or whatever to delay case, that's a different matter. But even to assign the case and even give a date for the case to be heard, no, and no need to me as a lawyer. You don't have commencement of the case, only to me. This is just one example.
No, Kasa.
Me say this is just one example. But ABR petitioners. I'm not one of the petitioners. You know, I'm not one of the petitioners. You petition. No. So if we see the petition, then at that point, I interrogate. Near petitioner will can. But what I have just done, no, and they say I have given you just one example. Kasa as a practitioner, I don't think that is how it should be. Why is it that some cases are heard immediately, as in this one, as in this particular one, Monday, but because of holidays, after your mark is yes, the case or file at 12 o'clock when you're on a date the same day and answer the following day. How come that? So those are the matters.
So muna menko hamanoso na mene lawyer Kwame Asah-Asante nkasa lawyer machie
yeja o mira
yo lawyer niema ekosi mejeze wate na wahu na towards nipa bi person we Chief Justice and our processes and so far wahu ne den wadwe ne kire woden
yo ma binchi ani avefo nyina nso men champion for our no pay in fact yina msa semi by ye di na ye ama yina di say him say the course no has to do with the top echelons of the judiciary. which is an arm of government. You're very sensitive. Na emotion here pa. In your team with Jumano. You take Mammy Kebina, you know. Si be Pia, a honor, ye jame, echo to Huntabia. In terms of interpretation of your constitution, no, any input yam crankre, a family. Eti, Emma, judiciary, no, a who's here pa. Se bibi sia what's yin na ihia yen na ye kohwe se bibi a tutu yia se judiciary no e popomu a minua da obete se Ghana judiciary no abanya tumi de nsa keka na se di osipe niema nyina so se de e wo se eyo atoba ha no ni minua wadama edana no pa no and committee for say programming and meye if we say me no ti hey the maya kukudu mi to me e kata no pen ene we bisa masemi ya wa kukudu abi ba be kase ni say we wa rehemu se suro bi ni wo say de me be kan ni obi da obetimi aba be tabiri me e de mako dem ni so tabiri me de me kwa me twan ko bia ne say me kwa te wo adwuma no ho na makwa kusu a kire wo mu na wo mu nembra wo mu tumi se wo mu tumi itina bene tumifo no ntem wo kan ntem asem na me so me nya me fa hodie nti ye de ne de akiri na eniema mi no ye di kai ye de emra no FA e wo 1992 constitution no imu ene de court so aka afa ena de toso mienu eye de enu de enye mra ya tworo na emu eye ya nkasa se bi buru se bi nyado ye titi yefie na ye nyina du sabri na ya bobra no bia no enye
yo lawyer bacha woso lawyer boy think bacha woso hello okay mamen koso se menya lawyer Sompa good morning. Lawyer Sompa, good morning.
Good morning, Minia Penny.
Lawyer, minim se breed ni ho anopai wani kire baabi. Ne ekoso se wo pese nipa bi pese wo yi chief justice ene ho ne ama. Ne ekoso nyina no wo hu ne dan.
Okay, mecha afefo. En common mi hu ni se be afanu be miensa. Machine amaliba di kan say so pese yi Supreme Court nema miensa na constitution ne kan di kan for stated misconduct and I said di why bibia etiamra the toso mienu say emrano kan say incompetent and the toso miensa say emrano eka say or incapacitated, in which case they be oyare and say bibinti on to me enye juma. It appears to me says Sanyama miensa we personal with me agina chief justice. Petitions no, so we can labor in the details and our dear petitions neka, but the edikaya mechanism for whatever reason, whether or not say incompetence and now say stated misconduct, enye kasa keke, those issues has to be proved. And now her constitution now is very clear. Says simple. If you guarantee these three substantive issues it must be subject to a certain procedure. Inti enyama miensa for substance. And a procedure laid down. Minia bakna no kasana MP no said something I think is very important. The bastion of democracy and our democracy na kano. The last bastion, and I said, Yokuta kono chato judiciary. Inti impeng bebre no. The independence of the judiciary, it's a very, very, very important issue. And I think that is why this issue is gaining a lot of momentum. But Minya, as to whether or not Sesebi petitions near constitutional, I think so. Mrama Hokwan said Sebi. Obisusu said if there is any of these three grounds, a constitution Hokwan said ye timidi chief justice and a justice of any superior court, no. I see we are petition. In the case of any other judge, petition no court chief justice or na chief justice that determine what we call prima facie case. And then Chief Justice will set up a committee and forward the recommendations to the president. In the case of the Chief Justice himself, Constitution is a president in consultation with Council of State in a better committee, Now, for purposes of that committee, the recommendations will be the president shall act in accordance with those recommendations. So it appears that the heart of the issue is supporting being substance near the about Chief Justice. I think that now she's been given the benefit of it to respond, which will form part of the determination of the prima facie case. Because we all don't have benefit of it. Now, Constitution now also say the process should be in camera. So we may not be beneficiaries of the exact issues. But whatever the issues are, Ms. Sousa tinkering with the justice system in particular is a very, very, very delicate matter. It must be done on extremely rare cases, unless the justification is really, really, really of moment and merit. I would beg, so we should tread very carefully in tinkering with the judiciary or the justice system. In Timina, the Edika Mekano, no, so in some porting view of Mayano.
Sania Echo, any issues of prima facie, also to say, Ongama, Yama, Chief Justice, Ongamano, petition no, Nti, Orishimon, and Wonyama. Also, my young Adishaka Crow. Young ordinary people, I knew who sad na wakan what redden dang na the young Bakwakusiso. You.
Okay, dear, and no so no. And maybe dear, and I can say, Sir Ohe Krata Nanima, now here in Sem Nanima, Sebi. Anu yebi oho, and I say a Sebi Sebio vexatious and Boshemuka. Asembia anywhere also no. Inti impembe brene sa me bo kwa adu ana me kasa waye bibia. I was a me na me de adanse eba sebi minu apanyi abomasum. Na masum na obo ye na obo me anopa no nan ewo park so. Na asumesi hu bi. Inti se me bebo me kwa adu na se yefan se obi otinchen bia oye otie bi no. ATM me kwa dubo ene me nkro bo na so hwehwem na oka se they are all kind there anansesem enya dia o say ye frɛ wo mini apanyima obeyi ano kra because nsem ya me kind there e bia na no nine no kra no ni enim se sa park no ye mbie nti entimi mba se me obo masum wo park no so no nine because ye nyina enim se sa no nine no na park no be answer enti na so prima facie ye say ye hwekrata na nima na ye hwense nkro na ya boano na nima so asɛm wo ho a wo say de ye de kwadu na bono no yi ano ana so that is the principle. In this case, no, I think that it's even better because Omani Pakro Kwenya no ya no one sem no one san bia as to say assembly or also ya no for which reason ya was a set committee not just as committee no in consideration of the prima facie case no nipa cross wa kanasem inti impembe the legal question is yes set committee no answer na Chief Justice no our whole constitution man whole so or the lawyer and expert and obi or pay biara committee na say. But that determination of prima facie case, no, constitution is a precedent in consultation with the Council of State, EBSET committee, no, justices of the High Superior Court in a prima facie, no, but I think the court has read the prima facie determination to Chief Justice as well, which I think is the right interpretation because they are all justices of the Superior Court, except that Chief Justice is separate. In the answer na yebe kruche committee so on hwehwe no asem no mudro no te say 14 ansa na say yebe hye afoforo mo atena so apensempensensem no mu akwa akira omaye na yamfa sebi kwadubo a eni nyina so na ye haw na se mre a mudro no sebi enko bebia ambe hey how because Oma ho kwan a sebi Ghana ye 30 something million obi a on pe obi asem bia betimi de on pe judge bia asem bia betimi de petition akọ but you want petitions of moment and of consequence inti prima facie determination ne ye say ye hwehwe mu de dikan ahote so asem bi ho a e wo say ye tena so na ye yi ano ana sebi nsem na ye ka no ye nsem a mudro no nhyeda nya sema ho hia biasa
nimu se enche bia yeri nya obi o na wo hwe se na obi abetumi di petition akọ ne ho ne ma wunye ni se bra so se sa law no ye hwe na se ye bedan ani ya dan ani na wankonya se wo ho na obi di biribi kọ ọchi na obi di biribi kọ sa de no hu ne dan wuje de se bra so se sa law no se ye hwe ni
I think that this particular constitutional provision has been litigated from the prior constitution. We've seen the widely read cases of law. Some of them hinge on this particular provision of removal of Chief Justice. It's widely read and widely, I would say, pretty litigated. Many of Sebio president our Tiso there's a procedure for removing him, although we all know say Oba for election a 4-year mandate. I think that the process for exiting rather than the normal use of term no providing an avenue a sebi se nipa kro okuta tumi no edi tumi ne ye DM any kwan so edi tumi ne ya e was a random kwan say there is a process for determining say tumi na okuta no de aye o ma adwuma na o de aye wa ada ope. So I don't think that the law in itself is wrongful, but the problem is sebio emrebia no, irrespective of the good intentions, no, it can be abused. So whether or not we have to look at it in terms of excesses, Minya Penny and my senior Amalibaka Assembly say government need Chief Justice and I was laughing. For purposes of independence, and you can say it's not about say or yet I don't think that is it. And he proceeded to make the exact positions of law I'll be to me the Chief Justice. And yes, open myself. And I guess I will bet it's very inconsequential in law. The real heart is the only reason you can take somebody off in the case of a Chief Justice, incompetence, incapacity, and stated misbehavior. Aside of this, new party, it's absolutely inconsequential. And I think that point needs to be made really firm and strong. Right, because omana sebio brew time easy and I think that it's become a moral argument based on the partisanship. Again, many our videos makasa partisanship is one of the bane of our problems as a people. Senra ye mami Charlotte say nenya and ye persia de ye mami toko no and it doesn't matter what party it is. the credibility and the independence of our party, our institutions, is the foundation of our democracy. So it's irrelevant whether or not it was done yesterday and somebody didn't talk. It's really inconsequential. The fact is that we need to preserve the integrity of institutions. Of course, if there is legitimate reason for which you think there is incompetence, you think there is a stated misbehavior, or you think there is incapacity, in this case, absolutely the process should make out for it. Where the petitions give grounds for which there is this proving misconduct or misbehavior, there's this proving incompetence or incapacity, as the case may be, but it doesn't have to be simply because by the state agencies which are guaranteed of independence must be tinkered with because there's an executive presidency. I don't think that is the state of the law. Time at MPPA, and we condemned it. I don't think that it must be entrenched. Your regime change must come with tinkering of institutions. In Jaban be about the EC beba or the police beba, not in the judge abadia. Then we're defeating the essence of why we're running independent institutions and credibility of institutions. So that is a bigger moral argument to say that the sanctity of institutions and their independence must be preserved. That's the bigger point. Having made that point, it doesn't take away, say, if there are real grounds of incompetence and stated misbehavior, that cannot be brought in specific cases where the Constitution allows for those cases. Indeed, I think it's a balance we must strike carefully. One, preserving the integrity and the sanctity of the independence in one part, but the process must also allow, if there are those grounds granted in the constitutional, that the process follows the constitution for purposes of those ends. It's many opinion. Nadia Medivesi no wadaroma senior wa winim no emre no enemy ending ye nti say bibi wo ho etwato ameya no nyasa dia wadaroma mesere on nante na maja wo ha
kwase say bretiaw na ya mawako mije di say yebesan nsakan da esem yeda wase mamenko lawyer Buatin ho lawyer na wrekasa na ho hamaneto lawyer tuya kasa so.
Yes, doc, wadama say ye me ka bedru ye ni say na mehwe enema be mi no mi esa bibi di kan kwanya constitution no akere se yemfa so. The etosu mi nu enema constitution no kaye but they are necessary for governance no me kan say yankasa yenyansa ya fa ni fi ene amanti chiremu. And I'm put the etosumiansa so be the devil that is in the details, no. Somewhere yatitie and somewhere is proud to you know the mami you know near maybe clearly and my you say a pop any about da and a fee you want to say a brasso. For certain political expedience be no so over at Nibia anymore. Na many penny the kind constitution no the you provision no at the 2 million Emma penny say one was a petition no commano. The kind you will say Tikurano, Emrano St. Mampenini and Fancomano. The same time, say, Binia Penny between say, ye Pemapenina, Miss Mikudibia, ye Mamma Quenya, ye Mammy Brimpo, if we say, Minya, if you a pianine. You will see Tiamrana say, and son will be a Bemana Quenya permanent, and the Jew with the pianine, a dear. As you penny a bee, both no, Timrano dear, Yacho. And you see it mean when Brano Minty, well, when you're staying in a so, baby, will obey him. But to swan is saying, Nipan, I didn't run my shell, there were more behind you, be with you, Phoebe and I am. And she, Phoebe and I, with you wouldn't say what Fabra Bulmua, Sibi Bruce Pinado, yempeni phone so atete okwan bi so ani maybe wo no mo awu say te tumi no mpo wa ensem fata se de Bible kan ye no sa die nyina no nke benya ho kwan se ye be ye memo me fata no so a component no ni mfie duanan no a ye ka no na ta kwanya no e wo homa mampeni na mini apedi contention no aba be ye se e betimi akwa ba se be a chief justice na obi etimtim nkrata e de entansa bia body se osususi ma ye bibia intimi ma intimi ntoa meduma so e de krata no akoma mampeni mampeni so ahwe hu se asemo wo se ye kosu hwehwemu am ye bia akoma council of state obriko am ye ka me ho asemo no asem no minimum ma ache minimum tansa mpo a ye bia bome ani de se ni mu awremu ani ni mu awremu pa na dok ye we se ye nyuma yi ayi se what say yesu bi di krata bia bere odwuma mpani di ama abeduko so omo so enwe wumpo wudim ni pakra wode krata na ba ene wunim sobuo so a ye dia bowo enti wo twen se the council of state na you know almost the krata bebre mampani ami anti committee pansa na wegunu entansa ye dia bowo no ye twen won ye si debi enkoyi ma ya manchitere ni titiru ene kayeka atemu adwuma no a enkoyi emfafa no na doc di nti ameka sa ne se we constitution no a constitution ne se the edipa no ye justice a superior court judge ya ono no de no was a chief justice no establish a prima facie case was what she would say asem no mu du implant na what was so ediako na say ye determine say asem mu du no establishing the prima facie no enye unilateral enye contemporary you know in it na mrame hwehwe say was a entansa no ni anu yie bi atesi eni because when you know year to me establish a prima facie case. Example, yen criminal a year ne we say obi ba ya was ya asumesi atomona ana asumesi ekubinipa na yenya anu yie bia yesi eyi ni pakum eye monato no gwa de prima facie case si akoya sadia ebe open some floodgates be ama very frivolous and vexatious petitions will be brought to her. By the time I ever for processes no one will say now when I say you know na di kind nipa no anka say you good anymore say the to should be no institution no so dignity and integrity no ya hwetel no away. This is the common sense of the law. Me susu say because was say indemnity na judge numpo prima facie case required that. How much more the ono that mo for nyina ano if in ono case there is a law no anka mpo this is say by necessary implication no it should form part of the procedure that was say yedi chief justice no if you na we enyanwa because in terms of constitutional you know severally and courts na your interpretations are a setting obligations be addition to give effect to the law na mini apeni
yeah
say yes ye nhwe sa bi mu duru no ehun ko hia se wo se mampeni ehwe se mu duru and sample and sana mediacono because I do not think that the intent of the framers of the law is forwarding the petition to Council of State should be automatic. And yes, idea then a bigger mischief will be created. You interpreting law one one of the tools idea is that you could open certain floodgates for mischief. Can we sit here and say the law should be that once the president gets a petition, and once on tenants and Franco Council of State. So in other words, the office of the president just becomes a kind of a ferry, a vehicle, just for transferring every petition in whatever nature, in whatever manner, to the Council of State. No. Can you say I am going to Franco Mampeni? Young Franco Mampeni is here himself or no? I want the deal of what Mampeni into me or lawyer for to me into phobia. Now, a homo establishing the prima facie case, and I may submit to say, and what say the other side, the panel against us are born. What's your TBB so free or no? Near TV, I can say, no pressure, no ye win or they madia, and yet I said, no, give you, a young Fancoma, Council of State now, the whole process should.
Lawyer, Mammy Missao, Niawuke, is it stated clearly in the law?
Oh, say, maybe men come on free, baby, say, in the case of a normal judge of the Superior Court, there's a requirement for prima facie. It is a who called the other judges the Nanua. By necessary implication, no, we know a was a counting. Say a judge be a ye be in a dear. Yes, it is that the same kind of establishing prima facie. It's a oh, frack or so, I could premiere one of that thing with a Amoa. It will not make sense to say that, the requirements of the prima facie is only what goes into it, should be eliminated. It will not make sense.
Yo, Mammy Missao, who say, Wokas and Moroka say, Oshia, I've been Pobia, Nipebiabo. Who did this? Nipebiabo Pobi was asking.
Oh, Lilia Penny Dog, wait here, and say, you himself. Na a movie video, a minute down of a name, person, never my mother was because Ugusu Awokan, na a team with Jumano, a good movie. And yes, sir, and cat, Mecca even before I signed the other 12 days. And same day, you would have one Casaman Penny, John Gaben, Bahamas, be put to be new rapper. Okaya, the fighting with man when you are a second. If you then infantry, would you buy the president? What you say? A board book will be a unanimous FC. I almost got an hour to almost 5 years and Yaguma. The Bakuba can only one woman in a history. And the after woman. I could do the BISA, MP4, every woman, the woman could put the Grababi at 1 And here, back, you be you, one more year, she had the improve for about the group. And so we now dog comes out TV. And what or Mayimu. Mammy Yankasa and Sembibria, Yadi Afano, and Semicasa be quite report. Chief Justice is due a more and this is for free and your more person you more. And in Sembia or Moka, and I don't know what they said about the NDC, any the judiciary. The piano, they never move along. Smoothly. We mean what it is, but clearly, sir, the identity answer no about no, no mean to answer the about no copy so talk rata. And the Koya. Then you're not your Koya, and I said, by Mini.
Mammy Missao, now, Yura Mahama, Sir Osha Court, Juma Waye, Nasa or Wasimbi Wahua, Inti Umisa, and non Kamwasam, Okanzo, young woman so.
Media Penny, again, Messiah Bab the Candiantia, Mampenibian was with. Then something in I am you to me candy and obey our Kamekan Sempa. Kamekan Sempa. But they said maybe why I am reliably informed, but mean to me kind of so. If you say, oh, Kokano, oh, person would kill Mr. Green, oh, Kota, why they are baby, Now I say adeɛ no mpo kyɛn sɛdeɛ na nka wo pɛ sɛ woti adeɛ no ɛdi so wɔ nti mpanyinfoɔ sɛ kɛgya bi nsɛm no bi wɔ hɔ no mu a wokaa na wagya bi ebi nso wɔ hɔ no mu a ne ka no yɛwɔ sɛdeɛ yɛsi ɛka no wahu no menyi ni sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ ɛfiri ɔpanin biara no sɛ ɔpɛ mampanin so wodi tumi biara sɛ ɔbɛka sɛ kɔɔto no ɛwɔ hɔ no sɛ biburu ɔmo ayɛ unanimous FC and ɔmo de tete wɔ comments about the judiciary many opinion a very very sensitive okay Republic versus Liberty Press judges make I almost say it is not as if the judiciary no one or would you want to nipa ya change school. No, that is not what we are saying. But we are saying that when we criticize them, we must do so with circumspection. One was some kamuno, and was it ye come ye said ye bay na a human wedding moon was here. Many a penny, the judiciary name was here, ye re Kabimami Kabino, and that one ye be baby. The amount will be near someone. Uncle Krumun could talk Sekai Cobrano, and Fan could not the crown of Miss Wood himself, or the cocoa to a better diamond. Didn't you be near someone uncle for two? And Fan could be department Miss Wood, it's a court war, or yes, I didn't know you didn't could in a court. The day to move for Benyanti, I say, hey, court no crown, say, one moment to walk around here, woman, Papa Pepi, woman, woman to as well cry, said your mother, you was and grab woman tea. And that's us and the better to move food to him. Say, King, ye real yo, lawyer, my bow, you, a dear you, the Diapemois. Lawyer, my bow, penny for can be about judiciary. I don't think say as I on the yard was here first. Lawyer, my bow, so many member, lawyer Amponsa, ho, lawyer Amponsa, Utieti in Common Corner. Hello, yeah. Say, who colleagues in Ibin, one say, Pobi, eta Sadi. Now, when you say, so be your petition be a near one who knock on wasam, Nefe, San news here, Benifubeti, no more van Yajuma. Some wounded, Pobi or baby. Say, poor baby, and the Nipano Cobonipono in him. But I was say a queen yaho, say, will be fin say. A buying penny for and I say government appointment okay obi to say CG and I saw more or mining penny for no say obi ayi bibi na ene emra no ebo ebra and I said dipa na fin say no ye ne niam no nya sa na wo so ye no that's incompetent with me nya adwuma ni yi and I say bia oyare ne ho atetwoma bi enti e wo say ye man de adwuma na to ho no obetimi de akwanya ba enti emra na nkasa ama yardstick no say open say ECJ fiswa and a superior court judge bia say that say on grounds of stated misbehavior. Lawyer, so what's him? Okay. 1 minute. Na menko lawyer Maleba ho. Opeso ko baby. Lawyer Maleba, bacha wo so. Yes.
Me wo so pa. Na ne wo ta sa
bacha wo so. Lawyer Maleba.
Me wo so oti.
Yo, mete wo so. Lawyer nkrofo bi say you know uti o colleague here ba kwen o ka say nipa bi abopo bi retia you know your friend then chief justice no ene the court no na ho niam sa ne man wo hwa wo he was asem
ma me and Claire said the judiciary is not above criticisms, just as how we criticize your friends executive no we criticize parliament. What is the parliamentarians criticize we criticize all those arms of government. The judiciary is not above criticism one bit. The fact that taxpayer sika and they are not above criticism, and I'm not on any day going to support say because the judiciary is a judiciary man and criticize or more. What I am against is attacking them physically or attacking them in terms of writings in their person. I don't, that one may not mean dream. But, Sir Chief Justice and panel judge say Montana case within 3 days, and I send my case, and it's like 6 months. What do you mean? I shouldn't talk about it because me can. The image of the judiciary will be affected. Is that what lawyer now or kind? Is that what he's trying to tell me? And I said, Oshe Afro Barometer reporter, the judiciary is neck to neck with the police. Tell me that me boy, Prof. Tell me that I'm lying every year. When that report comes out, don't you see the judiciary neck in neck with the police one? And so, yeah, Kasan, we want the right things to be done. So that we have a proper judiciary. And so, Obia and Tata Judge Bia, some of them are our friends, some of them are our brothers, are more. But Sebibi and Koswa, we have to point it out. Near Waka, in terms of, say, the government of the day, that's the NDC government, a Tata judiciary, and that he doesn't know why the NDC is against the judiciary. Kasana and Crawford Ekasa will chrome no NDC for against the judiciary. Kasana and Crawford Eka about the fact that our judiciary is sinking, no. NDC for no Kasana. So for me, I think, sir, what we can do as a people is to all agree, say, the judiciary needs some review or revamping. How do we do it? Make example, I agree, say, we should have a stakeholders engagement. All political parties must come to deal with our judiciary so that we can have a proper judiciary. That's what I think we should do.
Because you hear review, no, for say, and no petition in here started now. Is it part of the review process?
Oh, there be way there. It is about Article 146. Emma citizens, a queen, so but I'm talking about a broader stakeholder engagement. A broader stakeholder engagement at the judicial Nankasa Beba, Ghana Bar Association Beba, civil society Beba, and then senior lawyers who have practiced in this country, Beba. And in that forum, we'll begin to look at areas as a people, we think that the judiciary needs to reform. Media, on no day, I maybe support the judiciary if cases are tabled or brought before the court merely because the court wants this particular case, but does not want this particular case. On any day, I'll criticize the judiciary if an NDC member of parliament goes to a court, his case is not called immediately, an MPP member goes to court, the case is called immediately. And I will never stop talking about it. And if I talk about this way, why would anybody say, I am attacking the judiciary? The judiciary is not up there in the sky. On earth here. Let's say it, for God's sake. Nobody is attacking them.
Then process baby what is the next stage? Then if you are echo another level bang, and what is there to expect?
In the law, there was no provision that Yemfa petition Emma Chief Justice, even before the prima facie case is established. In the near present, that is to show, say, near war, it's not witch hunting. Near war, we're transparent in the process. Now, the petition Emma Chief Justice, meaning say, and no, because your man 10 days, that we have to wait after 10 days, now the response be drew your friends and Council of State. I drew Council of State together with petition, Council of State petition, no matter the response, no, then they will come out with whether or not there's a case to answer. So there's a case to answer. For me, a 5-member committee, 2 Supreme Court judges, and a 5 lawyers, almost members of Parliament, almost members of Council of State. 5, no, and I said 2 now Supreme Court judges, no, Bakuba chairman of the committee. They will present it to the president, and the president must abide by near committee in the kind. So that's it. That will be the end. But in between, no, say you form a committee now to hear the petitioner. The president has a right. He can exercise it or he will not exercise it, but he has a right to ask the Chief Justice to step aside so that the matters are gone into.
Or catch the Chief Justice no step aside. Hina na oba betrem egwemu na why is Chief Justice acting?
Obe appointed the most senior judge to act, and in that case, it is a Bath Bonnie.
Or establish a prima facie no. Now, who colleagues, lawyers, and also say there is something like that. Just a prima facie no must be given.
Oh, for the prima facie, she's entitled to it. There must be establishment of that, and because she's first a Supreme Court judge and second Chief Justice. If there's a provision, actually say Supreme Court judges say, but you or more, they must first establish prima facie one also she's entitled. So I know the fact say any in the provision in respect of Chief Justice, and she said we have to deny her. She is entitled to it. And now, and now we Council of State and the President when they establish it, then now they will now form a committee and she will appear before the committee. But if they don't establish it, committee there's no way they will form a committee.
I was friend then initially the president no amano Sakwang no na wamfa
any law no more. It was not in the law. So near present no crampo no magnanimous. It is not in the law. It's not in the law that you should give before. It's not in the law say before the establishment of the committee. You should make the petition available to the Chief Justice. It's not there. You can establish the prima facie without giving a petition to the Chief Justice. Prima facie, and a lawyer no kind, the earlier lawyer. And no one said, so share case, omodia bano, petition omodia bano. Say, ano ye ewo. Say, President, say, the person now, ye the petition against say, obey no. That's prima facie. Into share say, and Fatasa obey no. Then you can now establish a committee. Then he will now come and defend himself. But a coin and you say before over establishes prima facie, now the petitioner man there.
Near Equi Ninano, why do you then say? Is it to improve democracy, strengthen democracy, and as Osha Ebedeng?
If they are able to establish stated misbehavior or incompetence, it is to improve the judiciary. Third one, I say, if it is the third one, say, I know say from day one it will fall because Obiadi say, Mamino, she's not incapacitated. In the first two, no, if they are able to establish it, it will improve your judicial system.
Awosha, doesn't it be the case and also pursue threat? So ben bi obeba no so ubehu nipa bi nso ya was original was oritia another chief justice. So so hu ne dan.
So 1 year bibia, even if they bring a petition, it won't work. So for instance, so Omoka say Chief Justice Wakotong Bangolobia Eye judiciary for there. If that is what is in the petition, now I'm just giving an example. And we can show, say, and I said the Chief Justice can show, say, oh, the bungalow is still there. It is being occupied by the registrar. It is still being used by the judiciary. Why would anybody be afraid? You can bring thousands of petitions, but if the person has not committed those offenses, it won't work.
Are 3 appointed by the president now. We did say brasso say and also share sa composition well. Say nipa 3 are president appoint and a 5 no. We need say nkrofo kire say we buemu anke ye ana say o ma nipa foforo kra na appoint not the president. Sad no composition then as a lawyer maybe I would take any way experience. Sadden, do we allow it to stay?
See, there are some situations you can't do anything about them. Wednesday Casey, Bebano, it's against the chief. It's against the chief justice that wants to win. But do you know, sir, one no be empanel. So are we going to say that one no be empanel judges no? She won't do the right thing, or do we also say that she should also not be given the power to empanel? So no matter how you see it, there are instances you can't do without those things. There must still be an appointing authority, and that appointing authority would either be the president or somebody.
Are you a friend? Who can say Chief Justice on na are you a friend? Oh, see you. Many lawyer naturally Vincent any or no hina na osiu.
Well, let me say that it is in her interest. So she has an interest in this matter. It is to protect her until one non so and panel. I'm not saying as in the plaintiff, but or interest in the matter.
Lawyer, memory studio na mene lawyer Amponsa nkasa. Lawyer Amponsa nkomwe ni awetietie from your colleagues. Your opinion towards the case. Them.
Okay. My opinion is a case no strengthen your democracy. Is answer Supreme Court my interpretation na obi ebe hu ba bi emra no e wo say da. Now going forward no a guiding a train sani a nyina yen ye ho. Na meka so aka ho say ye judiciary no eno na ekura oman no. Because obia ne abanya asem a ho no de beko one parliament nya asem ho no de ko ya mo mutumi bi a on bitimi etiti nsem a kire wo sa asem a wo ye ade a wo ye no emra no no enya unlawful unconstitutional illegal anase bi a metwam sane e be ya se president ni ye obi bibi parliament ye obi bibi no offense na nje ho a or you will run to the judiciary nti I was say you put in all the measures to make sure say ye be enhance the independence of the judiciary. As I say, see, be create our precedent so okay, obi aba obi ni die, obi aba obi ni die. I think say why and the picture be pintiama outside world no in terms of your economy, business, investors. But Ghana there 4 years we almost chief justice so confidence in our economy would even go down. We should do our best as lawyers. We are officers of the court. Yenye ne wasi ebeye na you make sure say judiciary no you are protecting. se CJ na ye bibi na committee ni TT mu you no friend say no crazy was ye na very well, but other than that no you impression being free or mo say enye me na me appoint no a then it means say and same be by anymore because enye me na me yin ni be obey bias and I say baby we have to get that thing out of our mind. Now you build the confidence say eh the yan obi na be power no nye kufia ebeye kwadwo obi be yi no o process even though petition obi ehuye nti aban for san ba no ka say me so me ndimi ni nya adwuma na ahemfa na ye ko asenation
we are sure say baby a woten uhune say aban bi obeba no person sesan chief justice ana
o mi hu ne sa there have been various attempts in this our dispensation say be CJ mi hu ne sa but asem we buy ya discussions na kokoko so no ngofo keka so na say yi so there's an attempt to equalize the whole thing so na say yi no obi ankasa intino we yi na mo obi ankasa nti ekoya ye say the way a partisanship work enema mo Ghana oye bi ntima ye bi president we buy so yafa nipa be December me yom last regime ni bitimi so ma ye bi no. It seems say this is the impression that is being created, and I'm very sure say one day obi fi about party from Babeka say yenso eba e be ye de, and I think say emwa I was say ye gitum say emra na ye wo right now na yenso san ne de e president bi and e be appointed chief justice but yanyintum ni ntimi ni nya adwuma emra na ye emra Supreme Court empanel no e na tie 5 7 or 9 depending on case na be come anim. We are the judge no say even near or appointing no kwa won trust na oye baako 4 and I say 6 be kan ho. They will also make their defense say do say some vote for decision na some dem vote beba. Until let's build the confidence and strengthen the judiciary. But you can say oh yentimi no bi nya adwuma you criticize president no to one way adachi bi no na ba for ba no so be ka say me so me the same na is o man no de bia na ekoyechi yem build this confidence no e wo judiciary
unye ne say young processes no wo friend dan sa opeso yi chief justice a processes no niam unye ne say braso say ese sakra niam bi wo
constitution ni de me gitum say and say madwen kire ne say emrat say wo say ye amendment kakra
ya me kire process now wodi chief justice no we are sure say baby wo ho a say ye hwa na
ni nyina ka say na me di kan kan e ka ko ni nyina constitution
yeah
nti I think say it's about time I be take a holistic look at sa provisions no na ye changes bi ezan say composition no sana emrana kan 5 2 Supreme Court justices and then 3 other they shouldn't be MPs, they shouldn't be members of Council of State, they shouldn't be MPs. Enti sa other 3 no president me appoint you clearly no e be create impression so 3 against 2 because a panel enti be majority decision the 3 against 2 there so 3 no kono mo kaso ye de adwin dada say ye ba be yi no enti no obeka bi eni wono a ye de be ye adwuma na che say ni hia so de be CJ an say we be petition bi na we be establish say prima facie we be man hearing wa constitute committee in the end no 3 ne be vote how they think they have to vote and then the other 2 who are judges may be a bit technical but in the end already now no because the other 3 are being appointed by the president the impression is that is not the case but suspicion na ye woma ye ho as a country no eno na edi yenya because in Kenya sir the fact that we appoint me no shouldn't mean that I was say because you appointed me because I have the merit before to be a Supreme Court judge or You should be a lawyer of at least 15 years standing at the bar, good standing. What I say, say we are morally upright. And what said the qualification is there. Nti, what meets our criteria? Anything you say by a judge, no, because you have the merit. It is my merit that I'm going to use to dispense justice as it should be. Nti ye is a suspicion if you na ye jitum say it's a branch of it's an organ of government. Was say any pan a besan den akwakotra no. Nti ye nya sa agidie no was any panim say omo the competence and I say the technical know-how to be able to handle that very office near their mom. Ni nja no munyo majuma. Rather than say you be critically suspicions. Na ebedu baby na afia was say find ways e means be near the will be free. So yeah na na yankasa ya mboye ho. Yankasa as a nation ya mboye ho because omo no democracy ni. Because omo interpret law na abe president da ho. Na guide ni de koye nim sa.
Lawyer, my concluding remarks were Sir Chief Justice Adihu. Bibia opesa audition fashion nansa na yakoyen second topic no. Na femi fi wa mako lawyer Boateng ho.
Okay. Inti ni ameka ne say procedure no asha ase dada. President ama Chief Justice Akwenya say
Obaja ma on so kakra man.
Procedure ni asha ase. President so ama Chief Justice Akwenya say onfa ni mu ayemra. Nti nyina enya abotre na yentwen. Na yenhwe senior procedure no ebeko nyina enya abotre.
Ma men ko lawyer ma lawyer Boateng ho. Lawyer Boateng ba cho wo so. Lawyer Boateng wo so. Yo, ma memra lawyer Maliba ho. Lawyer Maliba, your concluding remarks Chief Justice issue. Then now wa opesa wo kan as concluding remarks answer na your second topic ho. Lawyer Maliba. Lawyer Maliba. Lawyer Mbacha Otemenka.
Yes. Hello.
Lawyer, Niayenga Kika for Chief Justice in Winniam. What are your concluding remarks?
Oh, my concluding remarks now is I'm excited. Say this has generated a lot of public interest, and by so doing, share near EBC in terms of processes, into and we can only wait to see how this ends up. But when we observe, say, as citizens, we are allowed to speak about it. Until let's just wait and see how the process rolls out.
Second topic. Men wo yang hu nia ekọ so Kumasi. Kumasi gwa wo friend dem wo market no ba no oja atomu na atomu wie no minister Ashanti regional minister call ho na okoho say okwa akohwe ne ekoso yew sane say eye na adwuma okodu ho a fire tenders wo nsu nim ne ho ne ma o kire na adwene wo ho PRO fire service anye ne de no me say I wo friend den fire service ni officer wo ho anye ne de ono nso kasai ma kasa no kotra ni wura minister nso kan kasa anye fire service ni ne de enu achi utwim a ye wura muntaka kɔ ho se ukura aduan ne srade kakra mu ne srade won asamato won wonsom sabe won anyantum wohuro no wo ho saa asɛm na kɔ so no ye ni kan hwɛ nkrofo bɔ minister na bo so bo se no handle aden anka osan handle ne differently anka beboa mpache wo hu ne dan lawyer okay lawyer Maliba mebisa wo say Kumase issue a ACA edum market ehyewe na minister call okwa fire service focus ho nsu nim obisa ho asem mo kire na adwene anye fire service for there owura no koto no okasa ma etia minister no ho nema nkrofo rekire se minister no senia okwan ofa so no wanya de nkrofo nso se fire service ni na anya de wo dwene ho den sa asem hu ne den.
Well, Majidi said at that particular moment, you know, yes, a jano etum no na microphone bebre omonyama ehye no. Majidi said tensions were very high. Minister Nakasano was because he was sympathizing with from a market woman. No? Fire PRO no so on so no say he was protecting the institution. Until there was a clash of interest. They had their various interests. But the middle ground, then they say, both should have looked at the national interests and not their personal interests in terms of where they were standing. But after the incident, na obia coffee, no, PRO no ehun say wan kasa because no, he could have said it to the minister. So more your friends saying dissect meetings. I mean, you said dissect fire service account. So you're wrong, but where he said it into one kasa to say one kasa but he still stands by what he's saying. So that could have been settled if there was a private meeting or there was a dissect meeting between the two of them. The minister was, as it were, airing the views as expressed by market women. No, the minister was not happy. The market women were not also happy. And I think, sir, there were clashes of interest. But what caused that was the movement. Emergency na eba no, and an accident na eba no. That was why tempest flared up and kasasa. But later, I'm sure the minister will accept the apologies of the fire officer, and then they can continue working on the issue of the market women. Now, Mukan say Interior Minister call honum no. Up to now, I don't know the reason why they did what they did. Because Muntaka was not the one who set up the fire. The Interior Ministry is not connected to markets, even though it is connected in terms of providing security. But markets will fall under local government. I still want to know, unless you can tell me, I still want to know why the market women refuse the rice and then the oil. So to make catch-remia, then I can now proceed to mix up. Because for now, no, me no more ediyao. I don't understand why. Take it. Then another person will come and give you. Then you take it. Kakra kakra, you'll get what you want. I don't know whether omuka sa omumpeno. They think that the niamodiba no extra and I said I need to know.
Do you read any political motive be was Adimana?
Oh, that means that if you don't also know, then we are all in the dark. Well, Martin Krofweka, and I don't, because see, I'm not the type who thinks that certain group of people vote in a particular way. In these elections, we have seen, say, when a government is performing poorly, omo ankasa stronghold ebeto about tiomo, or they may not go out to vote. So we've gone past those stage where you say, oh, they appoint you to baby crampo ebeto abaman. I think, sir, there must have been some miscommunication. I don't also think, sir, there's a political party that can influence people to the extent that those people can misbehave. So I won't read political meanings into it unless I have evidence. Say, ABR, MPP General Secretary held a meeting with the market women before they went there, or MPP chairman met the executives of the market women or whatever. Until now, I thought that they acted on Omoankasa or Madri, and that's why I'm asking for the reasons why they did what they did.
Ashanti Regional Minister, when you sure say Ankasa the way you handle the issue, no, Sanka handle differently, no fire for no kushia no kind instead of the public, it would have helped situations.
But see, I may not kasa. Me die and a fan air bombing. I may not kasa. My way of talking to you will be different. If naka obeshia me say me car.
Ye who animu ye would
and I just
the bar from kakra ye who wutino eswetwa wo position better. Please go ahead.
Nti me patch say me no kasa me die and a fan air bomb and me no kasa. Nti the way my dream juma is different from naka obeshia me say eja atomika. You must understand the situations. Anything I can say, the exigencies of the time, baby are na minister no eteno, ena senior a janitor market no mono, ena senior market woman no esuno. You don't expect a minister to be in the right frame of mind to deal with the issue senior nanka or person one deal. So both of them would have gone overboard, but don't also take them out of the situation in which they found themselves. Don't take them out of it. The situation in which they found themselves could have created all these clashes between the two of them. But then I know your friend saying, "Piero no say call the no, and a fan no so a ball with Tino." Who say he came out to apologize. So I think that the two situations are not the same.
Fire no who say I was friend then baby when your fire service for in sewer market no BBN was a block na what is happening?
It is our own behavior.
What is happening? BBN creates a problem. Fire be do on na onya baby kura enko hwehwe nsu.
Yeah, well, baby Ghana ha fire service omo pipes. I've forgotten how they call them, but they are those places. Say basse eto baby they can quickly rush there. Baby now they don't have to go back to their station again. But say as a people no, yeah, indiscipline does too much. And in some of these places, you sit down, you silly those places. To me, that's one of the reasons. Two, so I think, sir, land commissioner, I say, you were you're from land commission is their responsibility to ensure, sir. Places like that, no. Omo fa and tongue and mark and crop. Now, they should leave those places, maybe a fire service for extra open, so that fire service will not run to a place, drive to a place, and still any omokamo. So it is our own behavior, indiscipline on our part, which causes some of these things.
Consistently, baby I show. Now, what is the NDC government going to do as at the way end? Because Mitietia, what seasons are Sani Metesi, at the Rebinsu and Crawford Nation. Do you have any plan towards arresting this situation once and for all?
Market for no, I think most of it is to be put at their doorsteps. A drum, not microphobi adane honum or more kitchen. They will cook banku and eat there before they go home. They pound for food there. They set fire there. If not in Ghana, I mean, Gini say ABR, other parts of the world they do that. Your market, Ghana hanum no, microphone da market honum crampo. Almost no ma soja, aye omuti anom and some coffee. It's wrong. Burkina Faso say your poor marketer, there was security men all around the market to drive away everybody to leave before they lock up the market. And I think, local governments, markets fall on the local governments and district assemblies. I think that is what we have to start doing now. Markets now, ya see wall and I say ya see dying, we can lock them up now. Those markets, we must start from there to ensure, Obia and soja and Nuya Ediane and Didi and our coffee. It's wrong. It's wrong.
I'm about my studio. Lawyer Amponsa, Kumasi incident. Minister reacted. Fire officer also reacted. There was a clash. Where do you stand in that as a lawyer?
Okay. Niameka wo Kumasi fire incident no say Ghana emra base yebe plan ye layout na yebe ma yemra na ye adwuma. Izan say obekọ municipal assemblies no na layout no wo ho ya hihye we be start say we sit down e be initial in the plan say we mesi just one floor later next car ban nsem be we another one floor aka ho be another one floor aka ho. Could you believe there was this video about menkai krokopotin fire hydrant and mo hwehwe fire service for pedi edumja na ewo obi container obi asi container akata so nti eba ne saa na the fire service for no be pe ebi okra space omo be pe e de awura market no kra kodumja no kra na ye problem. I don't know create problems in my end. And I think emre do ye be retuli a fire service for no wo hwe aman for so a omo helicopters omo dey fight fire ebi wo drones nyina na ade ba ye hey fire tender ba ko wo amienu ebeba na say kope hydrant ko twinsu enema bebre ebi eja ne be hia. It is about time we take our safety needs. I say we pay a critical attention to it. It's say enema asho edum no asho market one. It's in millions of cities. Sabi obi on ma on me page biem. This fire here see obi me life I say no the business I say onya capital bi biem. It is about time wa your markets na be planning ye. Na your man go phone sees the structures will be basa because fire service for no tea on side almost on buy and baby na build an eco wo de sa normal water hose yi tresoro atunsu en kwot sese na bia nka helicopter na drone bi na apega na gina nanim and air fire edinsu air fire guma minister no reaction in there make I say it was the heat of the moment. Fire service for no a statement about. I think that we should move forward from there. Now, pay attention to the critical issues. You know, send a prevent say jashishi markets. Fire service for intimate and so no at least Emma casualties no and coffee. It say market women or more capital obi jetre obi on maybe o savings bi obi on maybe okofa nema weekend na ijane bae nti we should pay attention to those things na yen truly the fire services yen more modern and infrastructure yen more modern machines ni ade na ntimi mbo no mutimi ndum jane ye anya ne saa ade bia ebe yesi ya
na fire for nan sorry market women nanka saa no nso unye ne se won susuban bi wo ha ente se wo da adi wo gwa so wo ni dwuma wo din
ne na meka se isi emra no wo ho but municipal assemblies na so mutumi enforce ebu onu ma ye ton ade bia pavement mu ba bi ye wo bobo sisi e friend say yes e bobo kios sisi ba bi bebre enye fan sisi a ne jawe no report ma say den ma eja no start airport e bi ka say electrical fault e bi say na do light but some of those enema no illegal connections bi ne bia pressure bi wo meter bi so pressure also bi units e wo say wo ahoma so na eboro so sai no yes na overload edu ba bi a betija and those are some of the things that we say ECG wo kagana kra wo be si dan a your permit bi say wo jijiji e ma so say e be enforce sa laws no na e be make sure say ye si ba bi na from marketer e fit for purpose ya make sure say e kwan dem a bibi hia ka betimi afam freely without any interference fire hydrants e wo ho se father for so mudum ja omo ba omo nko echichiri engo pensu ya sisi dana plan ni pressure bi ni electrical friend say pressure bi ni apply pressure bi ni lines ne so some of there are a lot of things you know all the safety measures no you put in place you betimi reduce the incidence of fire and another fire na kra ba you betimi prevent the devastating effect
yo lawyer meba ho mamenko lawyer Boating ho lawyer Boating mpacha wotemenka lawyer wotemenka
me ton kapa doc
yo na ye pese wo ma wo concluding remarks wo ayi wo friend chief justice nsemu yi ho na fe ya de wo ba second topic no nti okwan da ho ma mpacha fa concluding remarks bra na fe second topic no fe ye ni nkomo ho
yo doc asemwa me pese me can particularly to Union NDC4 and Omwa Nejuma. With my little years in politics, every kaka memuno. If you took a see pa mafa, the day ebo me brand say Ghana Kuyano MPP atana so pain, and ye lose pain, NDC atana so ebo mo lose pain, and they see what so. The veteran say, "Ubiye nuwa obetna Ghana kuyano so afebo." If you may ye pipia na ya dwene ya fechana die. My yenkohe political motivations being near bia. Ya pesi ye e ma de bua ye wo kwan bi so na ye nwene ho hwe o man nyina te beboa te moa ne nkufu bi ikekiri na womu ankasi yeno womu asi na enu yujum na maye kwako ye mebia ensem fata mami yene ne ti kurumba yiminia yimse di usitie ye yenka se wayi bibi na etiamra na constitution no yimu duru se constitution ma ho kwansi yinwa yenka se Ghana mrano mi yemfa ye adwuma demum se dia kro no asi asase no kra no kire yen se obi peso wo kire se na no bibisi ye enti enen so ye mistake na mi ne peni the next year obi hu so mbe ye no electoral commissioner no omuyi chief justice ni wie ya the next year electoral commissioner no say ononso ombe yino edino every ho na so mbi ti ye ndia omuma ye nye die ebepua wo mai ye dakan na meto na me dwindwin bibi na me dwin mami empu sisi ye ko nsem no mbu na nye no kra weni gibi ode to aso aye na dwuma na busuafo sen ni bitu no fo mpuse bɛyɛ mpo adwuma no kora nko nyae na ɔnkɔ fo no a ne nkwa ɛne ne safety na me sa adwen ho sɛ ebi ɔno kora deɛ ɔbɔ ade ayɛ n'adom ɛna yɛde petition ɛne yɛde yi na firi hɔ biribi atwa mu yɛnim deɛ to atemmuafoɔ bi a na political party now constituted as the NDC. Na omuninye atemuafo na adwuma na omo eye no ho. Omo de ndi ekoye wudi ekoye wuo. Wohuno enti ya ne mpese ye beka kai ne bi a esoso ya da ye bone. Nanso ebe di ye no na ekoka kai ye ne bi ama ye hunu se da bi. Sabi ye ginim sa ade achen. Ebi e breed e kia ku ye nim bebre enso so de bia ye niam bi na ya ma ya sa ye say ase ye da so we are still in the woods koyesa emwa inuanom emwa na ye nyina man chichire no ye chichire mfanko ye nim na obie nya trust e wo judiciary no say eno and ye the vanguard of our liberty. Nti miniam sɛ deɛ mede bɛso ɛhɔ no ɛno no
mamimi sa ansa na wobɛkɔ no na ayi wɔ frɛ ne dɛn sɛ judiciary no sɛ adwuma no sɛbe ɛnkɔ so yi a wonnye ni sɛ mmara ma ho kwan sɛ wɔfrɛ ne dɛn obi bɛtumi akyerɛ n'adwene anaasɛ ɔbɛyɛ petition anaasɛ nipa bɛkyerɛ wɔn adwene wɔ ho na ɛno no aden na ezi yetumi hu ne se enya asempa
doc wadama on se akane no make asa no make say enye se judiciary ne above criticism, but the law is that when we criticize them judiciary meant to say the other arms of government, you know? And there's a reason why it is how it is. And I'm saying, judiciary, no, no play no, yes, from Kakran, no, even perception, a bit member or uni at all, a woman with.
Mami Misao, lawyer also. Hello? Lawyer also. Lawyer Boating. Yes. Yeah. Lawyer Maliba. Lawyer Maliba Mbajo or home. Hello, Lawyer Maliba. Okay. My memory studio. Lawyer Maliba.
Yes.
Aha. Lawyer Maliba. Yashe some Ujashishu Asante region and all that. But it seems to me, say, it is yenya better government education and now machinery be because the state wastes a lot of resources in this. You as a lawyer, also, do you see the need? It is market women when sure won't goose and none. It's a bribiano, na bribia say, who the cost of the damage here, eba, me assure a huge figure. Na, it is a market woman who when insurance be, and now bibisa because, Sasami, a cost on how. Na bribiano, I know, say it worries government.
Well, we've gone past education. Obia our market or him said. Odi eja edi agro ebesho. So we've gone past education, and I'm not going to talk about education. That what we need now is strict enforcement of our laws, punishment. Now, Odi Mechia, since I went to the road safety, I've been dealing with people who don't respect our laws. Now, saying me call the frogs and grandpa underbridge, echo mamu yi advertising billboards, even before the rain started. So what we need now is enforcement, punishment. Se ekobase omo report na ese eja ena causes we need to start enforcing the no cooking, no naked fire in our markets. Inti obianso enim se ejom honum no sikan kwane wo because yamana amoton sika. I expect say insurance companies, and I see insurance companies most of the time in the markets trying to ask the women or the sellers to, as it were, insure their goods. But I think the first step is strict application of the rules, which says that no naked fire in the market. Secondly, also, we need to have a fund that can help these market women. So this NADMO say we need to give them a fund so that if there's disaster of this nature, sometimes I fire, sometimes I ensure so, sometimes I ensure in the Volta region it was water. We need to give them some fund where if such disasters happen, they can go there and take the money and help the people. So beyond that, I don't think there's nothing more to add.
Yeah, we blame also political actors. Elections rules are what can you say we need to enforce them. Then we let the rules, we let them lose. We are afraid to lose votes until we don't enforce them. Until it gives the people the courage to take the law into their own hands. Elections because market politics, the market queens and all that, the political parties are active there. Until near maybe that will ruffle feathers and I am a party political actors MP. Your view on that?
We've gone full cycle. Chinchins are above the same the same point. We've gone full cycle. And the full cycle simple means that the politics the
yeah, lawyer Koso, say, Okasa Baba. Yo. Okay. Yo, say, you be trying na yabasima, nearby,
in that full cycle,
you be trying the market
this is the right for it.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting for your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola.
Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you.
Enjoyment Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Masamba Hobio, young issue of politics, market politics. It will be a sense of Mimopa. I war Ujasha show no one when Yamanti, Usinia, Amaleba, or say we should have strict enforcement of the law. Will it work?
Yes, I also believe we should have strict enforcement of the law. Because Bibia ni akoye no politics. In the end, Ejano, enim. So we end this in his shop and we end in his shop. Ejano the when you start to share to just consume anything that is in this way. Nje was say enforce because law na enforce wa never benefiting. The law is just the enforcement of the law is to our own benefit. Say ye mambra ni adwuma. Eya na ye kọ abrochire ba am so kọ abrochire na kọ na bibia well laid out na say because they've chosen to enforce the law. In the society no a progress o drive here a speed limit ni say on come bro so you say o nam hanu around this time and we say udidi a we dey to form on fan to form so the society progresses but bibia ni akoye no so what does our come here because me party muntino ebia ma ban na power ntino what does that touch me a ye be ye phone calls bi ni aka say jame and as what touch me na say ma ban ni power ma ban ba me so me the bibe obi in the end ni enko yanim de bia ni gina fa ko is an say tell me kasa me ya you capitalize on it and use it against me it will be a person for so long in a way be criti disaffection amano I do say be vote the other side can use it against them but we as a people must assess say how do we want our nation to be ahead there for some ra enye nipa nyana na be comfortable because ebe kwati nipa bi. But that is how it is. What law no the law has to deal with you. Say any sir, na enforce. I think say the incidence of market fires say in jai kura no esobeti ama omwangasa traders na ho no they will be okay because them say okofa merchandise okofa niema ba you can assess it and predict so and me kofa bay because your war was animal we see modern buildings here they fire near my shishimu ejaculate sprinklers for building him ebe so no temporarily before lawyer, the fire service people me hold on na menko hamano so na me Dr. Amache Boateng kasa Dr. Boateng good morning.
Good morning.
Doctor yanga bobon samuso yanga babe du Kumase ujasheshewa esi woho ato edum market asay niama asay japade sika show niama show na yenkotia ne kopu efi mukura nse minister open adwuma yi ono nso kodu ho a okoe fire tender sisi wo won adwumja yi wonso won firi sisi wo a oja won bibia nkoso okasa ne kasa ne du baabi how adwene say na nipa bi hunen fire service for no so owura no yi na ano no so ma na ano so try kakra sa de nyina hu ne dem
Midase michia atifo michia ahwefo say the lawyer no e kan no enukra say ejahye show no adosu kra dodo nti nsɛm no ɛyɛ baako sɛ yɛbɛsi ano na mmienu nhyehyɛeɛ a yɛde bɛgu kwan mu ɛfa yɛadwadi mmea a yɛdi dwa ɛwɔ ɔman yi mu nyinaa. Na specifically yɛnhwɛ asɛm osi mmerɛ a regional minister no ɛkɔ baabi a na ɛgya no ɛhye no ɔteeɛ wantena ne office ɔne ne officers tumika ɛkɔ hɔ. Na mekura ne sɛ menim onipa bi a ɛnka as a regional minister ɔkɔdu baabi te sɛ gya ɛhye mfidie a ɛsɛ sɛ du ngya sisi hɔ ɛnyɛ hwee. Na Ghana for sika regional minister onye kɔn mu ana asɛm wɔ yi a abɛyɛ bibi no ɛmi nwa papa asɛm wɔ betumi aka no sɛ ɛyɛ righteous indignation ebufu a na ɛsɛ sɛ ɛba. He had to demonstrate said the AC no na entwa yie ɛnkɔ so na no antra obia if we say the officers of the fire service for no koto wo ho no ade na wo mo anka nsem a AC trodo videos you you so ni mo senti yakura mo asem no ya hunte bebi a say gina sesia yi yenyi ne say bibia wo ho a yebetimi aye technically as firefighters. I don't know I'm so frank and sincere to the regional minister. Why? And then when naturally and properly and some of the no someone I didn't know man go for you. Or you know share one more near my no and it was as if say no one BB and and so he had to react the way he did. I'm really surprised about other reactions. And then fire officer, oh no, that fire officer who spoke the way he spoke. He's not properly socialized in our democracy. It's not. In the first place, the regional minister, beyond everything, he never threw his utterances and making any statement to be a year untoward. After the anger, I'm saying say it was justified. And I'm saying say okay me say in so now at the same time who say what why should I clap for you? And that is another issue there. We need to do what we need to do. And the regional minister should be encouraged to go about his business the way he knows best. If for some reasons, in SMBC, now we'll do that. But so far, he needs all the support he needs to do what he has got to do. And Asante needs him, especially in the area of project. Adebako, Dr. Asante, Onkai, but me can say this honor ashino. Any opportunity for Dr. Mahama and Nyama F for President Mahama and Nyama F on the Niso Kumasi Kajetia project, Accra Circle project, airport, the project there, a honor ashino, here Bibia, I am monumental. A beautiful young promise they will get their shops, but it should not just be building a shop. It should be building a structure, a bit assume or a fine so a multi-purpose building. A bit a building we need something unique. At the center of Kumasi, we need something unique at the place. Entiminya ni say enkran ho ba bia hie na omo asan esisi apata enkete look, Ghana has to move forward. Ghana has to move forward. And Dr. Asante, these are my initial, if you like, concerns about that issue. No?
Mr. Otono Buasa Kakra, a woman say, you untument trase, ma ujan to do market, non trani office. Nemumoko do hono, and garden on for fire for Nkasamu assume, na unti bibi kakra, winning is a hono, or tree break kakra and gabuai.
Dr. Asante, maybe in leadership studies, yeah, the BBA friend said the context, situational variables, he couldn't help react the way he did. Because engagement on the fire falling and any response our demand no. Okotro say ho ashi jurube ejani bi da so hye senka fire tenders na wo ho no ebetimi aye adwuma nke betimi aye adwuma adum ejani bi sa mreno on the spur of the moment, giving human beings the way we all are. And I'm saying that he put himself in the place of some of the people of Muniama Eshi. It was as if so on one in Yama Eshi. Some uncle yes a diplomacy human. Where ye afterthought, any TFA no, you bet me a cancima ye context Tapapano found himself in. Dictated that or reacted openly, publicly. It is the context that dictated that he did what he did. And he did the right thing. As a human being, he did the right thing. Unyama Asia, you can't keep quiet. You can't speak in low tones. Untimi fa wa no enkota rubiasu. Untimi. That analysis enye real, enye proper. That analysis enye natural. It doesn't fit the context.
So onyansu a obetumi de aye na adwuma wo ho is a hydrant no nkrofo de niam asisi wo ho nti ha okan na eno nso adan na oye dwae ma wo
Isini na shase free se opeso ohun se nsu ewo tankers ni mu a omuka se ansu how no nyina na shase no how no nyina na shase no a fire officer bi okotu no bia no briefing odema the regional minister eno ena enkomo no e shase efi da was say yehwe ena was say yehwe de e kan bibia ye kan sa komo betimi atwena dua akọ opani bo asma oba betusini yemfidi esisi we kura nso ni ebi nso e de ba yasan ebi nso a ebi o ha na si office dadam na nso ni nemom ye tuba se ye be yusu sa facilities wa ha ya hihye a ebetimi atwe nso afimu ye ba ya ni nyina no akwanya bia ni ho tisi ya ejina ha ehun ba bia ba onya sa briefing ya the reaction would have been different. Well, yeah, they lied to him. And that was the problem. Contextual variables na yekano. He element umpa any.
Sa ojashishu nti yenwura muntaka koho na okoma achede wopwe wonenye na unhuneden saasemi
political. Fortunately or unfortunately, some people are still angry at the NDC. Said through no fault of the NDC, Ghana for Etuaba. Said you are no. Titru Asante Memu. Political, no more, no less. Me niama ashe. Me pese me siesie me shop no yes. But misika, dem di misika ye nyina no. Ebi eni se me de to aduane di, me de to aduane ma me yire ne me ba. Enti in the short term, obi be boa me na matimi a provide food on the table e wo fear. Natural human beings should not reject it. Naturally, they should not reject it in the short term. In the short term. So, Honorable Muntaka reacted on the basis of short-term considerations. In the short term, look, Obo had ni BBH, so Niska or banker, Obo had ni BBH. Minika Kaseme ba eka home. Oye ne bi atunu mensen, isika she. Sko di yaduma sisia you know. Bosia anani mame. Ko di ajinamu ejima no na ni nyina san ahye. Oni se onyamo bag mienu miensan bi ne cooking oil kufia ebeboa e ofie ebeboa e ofie. Nsese that's me boafu me shop ashiti me kofia minidi. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Politics.
Na wo saadi mu se oja ato wo storm woni ma hyew na obi baba ye wadoma wo se mirinye politics nti ukofie ama sebe okoma kokumu ana menti ase wo na wo kuma ase kirama ase
Dr. Asante aso wo de mintimi enya no omo anye nti de ni mo anu no omo anye de ni mo anu no eba se ya na se won tiase a obeka se bia omo agu Honorable Muntaka animtia no he has done the honorable thing. Oya Santini and asem say asini krom ontimi ntra hokwa Asante Dr. Asante a year secret didi a year say when we are mourning people nyankopon adom ene gya imre hyase hye na daytime ene nipa wo ho ena wo mo hye ya safo na yase ye be didi adidi nipa twaso. And I just don't understand why people can bring themselves to say that oh boy na ekofia enya bibi ama yeyere ne ema da ho kire yi mukura no itimi nya duane ofie we be boa me akwan we so na kinchina be pa me kosi amache me ntiase na gisobi na be cheche masie gisobi me nim denti asese esi. And this is bad politics. This is bad politics. But the most important thing is that Asante for Antisa, the Honorable Minister for Interior, don't be petty. Or Pepper or one Santimai, Igusu here, no cranny say, who rock Masia. Yakwana free juswa besi eba ekuraka jiti adina enye omse swame interchange no pokwasi de ni bi no omusi and say sadia ene eye the best na mohwe na moai here in Ashanti region mimi gidi say NDC nso aye bida wadanu huadi say even emre bi kura na ya nto abadi din ama President Mahama no tutu anamo a akese landmark projects me can say those projects are written in gold. The KJTR one we are home you can't touch it untimi ka home bibi aba akire bia you know KJTR they see what that means. ɛna nipa bi gidi sɛ wɔn nso ɛyɛ bi deɛ odi kan di bibi pa ɛba ha ɛyɛ monumental ɛyɛ President Mahama in recent times. And you know, they shouldn't feel better. Now let me just say, I do say a sign an opportunity for the NDC to register its name, its presence strongly in Ashanti region. I see a opportunity.
Amaje Boateng, uje di se braso se sa ahyehyewahyehywe yi abang enye edumunkwa Ghana ha ohwe pa ukai se bibia hyehye okra ma Professor Mills time wode nkrofo fi America ebia no mo se wo mehwe nsa nsem no mi gidi se ensam na ye hwe na ye gya wato wo ne ho ne ma braso se sa nsem yi yetwa na wo kra
Dr. Asante, asem de ndo asipa se wakofaba. Ghana is a weak state. Ghana is a soft state. In political science, such states don't deliver development. Campaign no more. Me analyze President Mahama and Dr. Bawumia, and I suggested that President Mahama, for several reasons, me deliver a hard state this time round. So far in Ghana's Fourth Republic, Ghana has been very weak. And it is funny, say you did say you kofa experts after the United States of America, country and Yama Kosudu. We know it. Our people know it. But when it comes to expertise, in your free addition with me if you see here Ghana for can hold in din Ghana for can hold in din pa. The idea of a hard state, you know, they say, I'm not a lawyer, no, or can't a hunsem libino. In simple terms, we should secure the national interest. That will be beer. In simple terms, the idea of a hard state, secure the national interest. That will be beer. In democracies, one share your because say, and I'm going to and yet popular. If the intentions of the leadership our integrity, honorable, we go ahead and do it. At the end of the day, people will come to terms and realize that but this man really is a visionary. If the intentions are good, if we are sure of what we are doing, the integrity of the intent, if they are there, then we should go ahead and do it. Look, it is possible to say that somebody should be able to say this in government. I was saying to me a year investigations into this and come out with the real facts. And come out with the real facts and address the root cause in a robust fashion, looking at the issue from the interest of Ghana. That will give us a hard state, and we will then be rest assured that we are on the path to development, economic development, and if you like, fair, equitable distribution of national resources. President Mahama also to me deliver a hard state. I'm expecting him to do it.
My question, last one, I made many way. Who concluding remarks near the assembly at the Aquay?
It's a wire, a man Koso, and I'm on your NDC. My message is for you. Once Ghana is in 1957, it was like Ghana was doing a merry-go-round. Civilian government today, military government tomorrow, civilian government today, military government tomorrow. It took the ideological ancestor of the NDC, the PNDC, led by J. Rawlings, to bring that thing to an end. It took J. Rawlings, whether people know it or not, whether they will acknowledge it or not, The PNDC delivered the current democratic dispensation, and it delivered the stability that goes with it. The PNDC delivered the current democratic dispensation and delivered the stability that goes with it. So Ghana has enjoyed stable political stability, stable democratic stability, in the words of some political scientists. Aka omainu sikasem, it me stabilize the economy, now stabilize the currency, the local currency. Then we'll be making that progress. It is not for nothing. And only yesterday, 8 years, historically, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government mobilizing a huge amount of money. It's not for nothing. So today there's nothing to show. It is not for nothing that Ghanaians know that there's nothing to show. And that is why MPP, their numbers in parliament, and that is why even in their strongholds, many people did the way they did. That was the only time that the citizenry could hold duty bearers, accountable. That was the only time. And the message is that MPP messed up big time. Then DC cannot afford to follow that. And especially President Mahama, given where he's coming from. Look, but I'm not going to expect that Obi Baba Abemu, Obeya president, I'm not expecting that to happen. Such things don't just happen. They are historic in their nature, and they come with messages. And the message is that NDC is in a poor position to deliver economic growth, sustain economic growth, and equitable distribution. NDC, that is the party, the Democratic Party. And we know they will deliver. The concluding statement, Sani.
Medawase, and you and I know, sir, the PNDC said would deliver democracy and political stability, but they couldn't do that without the IMF conditionality. Say, go for democracy, and we saw that, and the role of civil society organizations, individuals, and others who stood up and fought for the restoration of democracy. That is also a fact. Baba Studio, na lawyer Ponsa, your concluding remarks. You have
okay. Nti my concluding remarks, my man say, as a nation, as a people, let's endeavor to build strong institutions, strong independent institutions. Send a public trust in those institutions, ebe kosoro. Na obiye nim say masem court and I'm asking police for in China, irrespective of the government in power. No, there is that assurance say everything will be done in a true and fair manner. Now about fires, so make I say, we have very beautiful laws. Your land use and spatial planning, you have very beautiful laws. Let's enforce them. Now you make sure say you lay out, ye yini baby ye si no, may ye si dan. See si dan so you kill at koha. Let's make sure that people are connected legally, so that people will not overload meters. Baby and was say idea this not 500 for no be akusi BBS so. Yes sir, in the long run, ya na bebre. E bia na wo na wakwakoye sa de no. E bia na wunya direct effect. Ba wunu bi oti baby. Na bia na bibi akoto no. Na because wakosi dan esi wonti no, car bi ntimi nya de emma emeteki action wo say take. Na sija na be hia na hye bibia adworo be. When we enforce the laws, it is to our own benefit. Yama mraya juma yenya na benefit. It benefits no one but us. Until yama ho saade yama ho saade en say yama na hechitre. Yen ni ade atum say mra we de be yebema mra we ne be say a guiding. Na yama mra nin guiding. Ni yenyi partisanship and say na man in free and so am visas it me yes Ghana will be among the top nations in the world.
Lawyer Amponsa say aseda na me de ma say na wanya brepa na wababa buayen. Me the last word be ma lawyer Maliba na or the concluding remarks aba na ekwawie. Lawyer Maliba wo so ya mpacho for concluding remarks bra.
Media after hearing Professor Amachino, I think I have nothing to add. Oshe Niaoka, what I didn't want to believe, and then Niaoka, where Muntaka almost Omunjin Ninyamano, and I say Muna Odebaye, is politically motivated. No, I think that we need to move away from that because as a people, no, and all over the country, we are known for our hospitality. Obi, our problem we help each other. And so if this was politically motivated, Majidi said, it is sad. But at the end of the day, it is Ghana first. And as we move forward in our future discussions, let's ensure, sir, it's not about partisan politics. Partisan politics will come and go, we'll still stay as a people. Until that's how I'll end it.
Sene wase ubri nyina na waboayen aseda ye wode bribia ye hia on me gedi se yeto nsafra wa ye sabeka yedase mejina free so na mada etiefo ahwefo mada obi ase mada Ghana fo ase a moboa madwumadi ko fefefe munsuso ye mu sada na ye mfa en adwene mmom ne enyo mengi ye nyo men bia se so mengi enu nti mom ye mfa ogya ntum bibiba enti ne ahyehye mra yemfa mra kwanso ne yenye ngade ne yenye ne pepepe na Ghana man ye woman memang mpanimfu a wosu chinchim mfiri wo studio ha ma adwuma no nso course no aseda ye wonde yewu adeche na wote akokọ bokokuroko a na ye de aseda na emam ye do biase se moma ne ye man Ghana eye krabehwe dase